All right, let's talk about computer science. We're going to demystify the whole thing, and believe it or not, our journey is going to start with dinosaurs. And it could end with you getting the equivalent of a degree. So yeah, let's dive right in.
You know when you're using your favorite app and it just works? Like you top something and it responds in milliseconds. Ever stop to wonder what's actually making that happen so fast? What's the secret sauce?
Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. The answer, as you might have guessed, lies in the fundamentals of computer science.
But here's the fun part. Sometimes those fundamentals can get a little weird.
And yeah, that's a dinosaur. From a real, honest-to-goodness, super popular university textbook on operating systems. I know, it seems completely random, but stick with me. We are absolutely going to figure out what on earth this has to do with the phone in your pocket.
Okay, before we get back to our T-Rex buddy, let's zoom out for a second. Because the thing is, computer science is, well, it's everywhere. It's in the shows you binge watch, and it's in the tech that is literally saving lives.
I mean, just think about it. The impact is huge. In healthcare, it's powering new diagnostic tools and managing all that patient data. In finance, it's running trading systems and fighting off cyber threats. Entertainment, it's the engine behind every video game and streaming service you love. In education, it's creating virtual classrooms. It's really become this universal language that powers our world. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? It's not just about tapping away at a keyboard, writing code. At its core, computer science is all about solving problems. It's this incredible toolkit for tackling real-world challenges with technology.
Okay, so with that big picture in mind, let's zoom back in. It's time to talk about your computer's hidden manager. And yep, we're finally going to connect this back to the dinosaurs.
So this hidden manager has a name. It's called the operating system, or OS for short. The official definition is that it's the go-between for you, the user, and the actual computer hardware. You know, things like Windows, Mac OS, Android, those are all operating systems. But let's make that even simpler. The best way to think about it? The OS is like the traffic cop for your computer. It's standing in the middle of a busy intersection directing everything. It manages all the resources, the memory, the processor, the storage, and it makes sure every single program gets what it needs, when it needs it, so they all play nice and don't crash into each other. It's a huge job.
So here's a kind of abstract picture of how a computer system is put together. And look, right there, in the middle, you've got the operating system. See how it's the crucial link? It's connecting the physical hardware at the bottom with all the apps and, us, the users, at the top.
Let's just quickly walk through these layers. So at the very bottom, you've got the hardware, the physical stuff, like the CPU and memory. Sitting right on top of that is our manager, the operating system. Then you've got the apps you actually use, like your web browser or your favorite game. And then at the very top, well, that's us, the users.
Okay, so the OS is one super important piece of the puzzle. But that's just one chapter in that crazy dinosaur textbook, right? So how do you learn all the other stuff?
Well, what if I told you there's a roadmap, a way to get a completely free, university-level education in this stuff, online, and you could start, like, right now?
Check this out. It's called the Open Source Society University, or OSSU for short. It's this amazing project on GitHub where a whole community has put together a complete computer science curriculum. And they've done it by curating the best free courses from top-tier schools like MIT and Harvard. The whole idea behind it is just so powerful that a world-class education shouldn't be something you can only get if you go to an expensive university. And it's not just a random list of videos. It's structured just like a real college degree. You start with some intro classes to, dip your toes in and see if it's for you. Then you hit the core CS courses. That's all the must-know fundamentals. After that, you get to specialize with advanced electives. And to cap it all off, you do a final project to prove you've got the skills and have something awesome to show for it.
So what's the catch? How long does this take? Well, if you put in about 20 hours a week, you could probably get through the whole thing in about 2 years. Now, that's a serious commitment, for sure. But the point is, it's a clear path. It's all laid out for you, and it's totally achievable. So, let's say you do decide to jump in. What are these core building blocks you'd actually be learning about?
Okay, first up, algorithms. The best way to think about these, they're basically recipes, a set of step-by-step instructions designed to solve a very specific problem. And learning to write a good algorithm is everything. It's the difference between an app that feels instantaneous and one that makes you wait and wait.
Next up, you've got data structures.
This is all about how you organize information. Imagine you have a library with 1,000,000 books. If you just throw them all in a pile, finding one is impossible. But if you organize them, it's easy. That's what data structures are. They're the different ways to organize data, things called arrays, trees, and graphs, so that your programs can find and use information super efficiently.
And finally, you'll learn about programming paradigms. These are just different styles or ways of thinking about writing code. It's kind of like being a chef. You can follow a recipe line by line, which is one style, or you could think more about the ingredients themselves and how they interact, which is another. Knowing these different approaches just makes you a much more versatile and effective problem solver.
And that's when it all comes full circle, you see. You start with these concepts that seem a little weird and abstract, our dinosaurs, but once you master them, you have the skills to literally build the future.
So, where does that leave you? Well, your journey can start right now. We've seen that at its heart, computer science is about solving problems. So the only real question left is, what problem are you going to solve?